Welcome to the Crusader Sports Network pregame show. I'm Will Turboff. We are here tonight for the last home game for the Strake Jesuit Friday Crusaders tonight. They are taking on the Alvin Yellow Jackets. These are two teams at the bottom of the district for District 23. Strake Jesuit is coming into this game with a 2-4 record. They did have a nice home win last week against A-Leaf Taylor, and Alvin is coming in with an 0-5 record. So looking to get their first win. It's going to be tough here. Senior night, these guys are playing hard. It's Jersey night in the student section. We're really looking forward to this game. Let's take a look back at last week. Like I said, the Crusaders won, but let's look at Alvin. They took a 42-7 loss against Pearland Dawson. Dawson has been one of the great teams in District 23, so not a huge, very surprising win. Most that they've put up in a game is 13 points, so not a real explosive offense. Looking to change that this week. They seem to be a very run-heavy team. Cole Empt and Kelton Morrison Coffin got a lot of the carries early in the season. We don't have a lot of information from them in the past few games, but they seem to be very run-heavy. Let's talk about the Crusaders. Last week, 35-17 win over A-Leaf Taylor. The defense looked great out there. Craig Royal had a pick six. Evan Ford also had an interception. And on the offensive side, Connor O'Hara had 127 yards and a touchdown. I don't know if it was because of that game, but just a few days ago, he got an offer from Austin College, which is a Division III school. A lot of Strake Jesuit quarterbacks get offers like that, even if they aren't, seen as great prospects throughout the state, just because of the level that this program is held up to. And on the running side, Joel Crawford had the game of his life, and we're likely to see more games like that, not only in this season, but next year too. He had 159 yards and 3 touchdowns. And speaking of Joel Crawford, we had another 50 yards episode with him where we got to catch up with him and see how he was feeling. So let's play that.
Welcome back to 50 Yards. I'm John Gabinelli, and today I will be interviewing Joel Crawford. All right, let's get started. So Joel, what's your fondest football memory?
It would have to be scoring a touchdown last year at NRG. That was so really cool.
And who's your favorite musical artist?
100% Beethoven.
That guy's good. And what's your favorite meal after a football game?
Whataburger's the only thing open after a football game.
And who is by far the funniest on the football
It would
team?
have to be Robert Smith. He's hilarious.
And what's your 40-yard dash time?
A 4-second flat.
And if there's any other sport besides football that you would want to play, what sport would that be?
Most definitely that would 100% be track.
Well guys, that's it for 50 Yards. I'm John Gabinelli, and thanks Joel for coming on today.
Well, we want to thank Joel for taking part in that, and we're looking forward to do a few more of those. He also said that Robert Smith is one of the funniest guys on the team. We're sending prayers to Robert. He just had a successful surgery on his wrist. He is out for the rest of the season, so we're really hoping that he has a quick recovery. Before we get started with the game, I have a few more keys like I did last week. Start off with, don't underestimate this Alvin Yellow Jackets team. Yes, they haven't won a game, and historically they're not a great program, not a very football-centric program. But anything can happen in Texas high school football. We've seen it before, and we will see it again. Hopefully not in this game for the Crusaders. The next one is feed Joel Crawford. Last week, he got 25 carries. If you keep him around that 25, 30 carries a game, that's a lot, and he's going to be tired, but 159 yards and 3 touchdowns, that's not bad. The next one is don't let up within reason. Obviously, you don't want to disrespect these guys on the other side. But last week, they put up 35 points. You like to see just how much this offense can do. Like Connor O'Hara, just throw some deep passes, maybe get some more touchdowns. He only had 1 last week. Maybe he's looking to have a few more this week. And then on the defensive side, I think that the Crusaders are going to have to feel pressured to get third down stops. That's been an issue all season, even in the game last week where they won. They're just having a hard time stopping the team that they're playing on third down, and I think you can kind of demoralize the team on the other side if you stop them. Make sure that they get a 3 and out, or even turnovers are great. So, well, the team is feeling the absence of Rob, but they're excited for this game, and I'm going to head it hand it over to Chris and Robert down at Clay Stadium. I will see you at halftime.
And thank you, Will, for a great pregame show. And now we bring you to Clay Stadium. We have a great matchup for you tonight. We have your own Strake Jesuit Fighting Crusaders taking on the Alvin Yellow Jackets. I'm Robert Gonsolin, and I will be calling the game tonight. I'm alongside my partner, Chris Zaidan. Chris, we have a great matchup tonight. How do you think Strake Jesuit has been playing in the past 3 games?
Well, we've seen in the past 3 games, Strake struggled off a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. The passing game was not there. We definitely rely on the running game heavily, and we saw that last game. Joel Crawford rushing for over 150 yards last game with 3 touchdowns. So it's going to be vital tonight that Strake gets the running game going so they can open up the passing game later throughout the game too.
Yeah, I mean, Crawford has really sparked the offense. 3 rushing touchdowns, as you said, last game. Also, Connor O'Hara has been playing very well. Yesterday, he even received his very first offer from Austin College down in Sherman, Texas. He has been sparking his offense as well tonight, and we hope to see a lot of action out of him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in order to win football games, you have to throw the ball. Sooner or later, the other team's defense is going to figure out that run. So once you get that run going, that's going to be the key for tonight. It opens up that play-action game that they want to run. You know, the defense commits to the run, and afterwards it opens up that offense. And like we saw last week, Thomas Drew was wide open for a touchdown in the back of the end zone, untouched. No one near him. And that's a result of running the ball effectively. And once you hit that play action, fake the handoff effectively, it's going to open up the field for Connor O'Hara.
Right on. And the Crusaders will have plenty of options to utilize the rushing attack and the passing attack tonight, as they're facing an 0-5 Alvin team. Jesuit is coming off of a 35-17 win over A-Leaf Taylor, and they're looking to win out and make that 4th spot in the playoffs. Now we're set to kick off. Mark Arsham, he also plays defensive tackle. He's kicking off tonight. He's set to kick off as Alvin will return. Here comes Arsham for 53. And we are underway. Handoff right to number 21, right after he receives it. Down the corner, and number 21, Elijah Harris, will be brought down around their own 25-yard line, and they'll be set to play, have it 1st and 10.
There is a flag on the play. Could be a blindside block or a holding of some sort. And that was important. You know, they ran the little trickery to start the game. Strake has been having a little bit of problems this year on the special team side of the ball. We saw that last week, giving up a kickoff return touchdown in the end of the first half. So it's important that Strake gets that side of the ball, fixed, so they can set up their defense deep in the other team's territory like they did just now.
Well, we have the defense coming out. They came off of a great game last week, especially our junior defensive backs. Evan Ford had an interception, and Craig Royal took a 60-yard pick six back for a touchdown. Defense played great. They're definitely riding off of a lot of momentum. As we can see, looks like there was some clipping on the play, brings the Alvin Yellow Jackets back from another 5 yards. They'll have the ball. They'll start with the ball on their own 10-yard line. Brings it back 10 yards. Have it 1st and 10. Pitch right away to Jordan Torres, number 42, and he'll run for about 10 yards, make that for about almost a new first down. As we saw in their warm-up, the Yellow Jackets have been running the pitch game a lot. Looks like the option is something that they'll be using a lot.
Yeah, throughout all of the warm-ups, we were watching them, and it seems like their primary play is that option, the run option and then the pitch option. And there you can see they went for the pitch, so it's important for the Jesuit defense to figure out what's happening, recognize the play, and get to the ball.
Looks like junior quarterback Trevor Bockel is in the game. He's starting over senior quarterback Cody Smith.
Three men in the backfield.
And the Crusaders bring pressure on the defensive line right away. Jordan Torres will be stopped for forward progress. No gain on the play.
And as we were saying, it's that option offense they like to run. Had 3 men in the backfield, decided to hand it off to the fullback up the middle. Straight defense was waiting there, ready for it, and they snuffed it out.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Chris. That defensive line for Jesuit has been playing great this season. If you just saw them about 5 weeks ago in that Pearland game, forced about 4 fumbles. Definitely been keeping that momentum going throughout these past 4 games. And very good at just stopping on 3rd and short, as we'll see right here. We'll see how they can do it. Another option play, pitches it to Jordan Torres, a little fake, for about a gain of 2 yards. They might have the first down. He might be short.
And that's a quality tackle from Craig Royal to stop that play.
We'll have to see where the ref spotted.
And going back off of that defensive line point that you were making, it all starts with Jacob Sutton.
Oh,
that
is
the heart and soul of that defensive line. Once he gets going, the whole defensive line is going to be able to get going as well.
That'll be about 4th and 1, and the Yellow Jackets will be forced to punt. Here comes senior Lance Cezanne on his own senior night to return the punt. He lines up at about the 43-yard line. Yellow Jackets punt it. Cezanne will return it. Runs out to his right. Gets a good block. Still on his feet. Down to the 40. He's brought down around the Yellow Jackets' own 32-yard line. Great field position to start the game. There is a flag in the backfield. I believe it is blocked in the back.
I think
this one might be coming back.
Yeah, I think they might be getting number 50 on Jesuit. Jay Sportalon on that block. It seemed like a fair hit, but the referees, I think otherwise.
You always got to watch out for very, very impressive special teams plays. A lot of them sometimes are the results of illegal blocks or clipping. Like we've seen 2 between both teams tonight. We've seen a total of 2 special teams plays already, and we're less than 3 minutes into this game.
And that's the thing. It's going to be who can be the more disciplined team tonight. I mean, we already have penalties on both sides of the ball, and that big return that was on Alvin's 30-yard line is coming back to our own 30-yard line. So it's all about discipline tonight.
Now here comes an offense that has been riding off of a lot of momentum. We have Alex May in the backfield, starting over Joel Crawford, who had 3 rushing touchdowns last night. Looks like the referee needs to reset the ball. No, it looks like the center, Luke Melton, 3-year varsity letterman, needs the right ball. Didn't quite get the ball he wanted. We have Connor O'Hara and Jake Foster in the backfield as well. O'Hara is under center. He threw 1 touchdown pass last game and 150-plus yards. Throws out to his right, and he has Will Taylor, the junior. Taylor breaks 3 tackles, still on his feet. Brought down all the way to the 35-yard line. Great field position. The Crusaders regained that yardage that they got on the punt return. Looks like they're just back where they were.
And if you're Jesuit in this offense, you want to see Connor O'Hara get off to a fast start. Past couple games hasn't been playing the way he wanted to this season. It's a good sign that he's able to make that completion. And Will Taylor, he makes these big plays. These receptions, he has 9 receptions for 158 yards.
O'Hara under center, hands it off to Alex May. He has a wide open gap, and he will go into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Crusaders!
What a great play, bouncing it out of the outside. Saw that the inside wasn't open. Bounces out of the outside, no one there, and walks it in for a touchdown.
O'Hara just handed it off to Alex May, the senior running back. Alex May just went in. Probably no one even touched him. Just on the second play on offense, the Crusaders will come out with a touchdown. That'll make it 6-0, and we have the junior Max Castellanos up to kick the extra point. And his kick is up, and it is good. Chris, just watching that offense and watching them just being able to score very quickly, what are your predictions for tonight's game, just on the offensive momentum and how they're able to keep things rolling?
Well, first off, when you have that momentum on offense, it translates to your defense, because your defense, they're telling themselves, look, we made the stop, let's let the offense work. So if they know that the offense can score like that, the defense is going to want to be able to play even harder. That being said, the Strake Jesuit offense scored very easily. It's going to be really important that they keep the pedal to the metal, you know? Don't want to let up or anything, because the game can get out of hand. Now, if they keep the way they're going and get this early lead, they can run the ball, take control of the game, give their defense some rest, and they can close it out.
Now the Crusaders are known for actually chewing up a lot of clock on their run game and then capping off their drives with a score. This score, however, was on the second play of the drive, and we're not even 3 minutes into the game.
And it all started with Will Taylor on that reception. Big play Taylor, you know? Averaging 17.5 yards a catch this year.
2 huge plays. Will Taylor was a varsity letterman his sophomore year, and then they just handed it to Alex May, and he just took it right to the house.
It's important that Connor O'Hara gets that receiver that he wants to throw to tonight. Robert Smith, not available tonight. I believe had wrist surgery
yesterday.
So it's important that Connor O'Hara gets that number 1 wide receiver he wants to throw to.
This kick is up. It's returned by number 28. And he's still on his feet. He's brought down around the 27-yard line. Alvin will have it right about the same spot that they started it with last drive, except if you were to take away that penalty that they had. A little bit better field position for Alvin. Alvin is 0-5, like we said. Not the best record that they have so far that you would like to have, obviously. But then again, this is a tough district. You have teams like Dawson, Pearland, and the reigning 5A state champions, Shadow Creek.
I want to see the Jesuit defense contain the edges. We've seen a lot of pitches and runs off the outside.
Bockel takes a snap, runs another option, hands out to Torres, who breaks a tackle, and Torres is on his feet. It looks like he had wide open space to run. He might have taken that one to the house, but it looks like he stepped out of bounds right at around the 40-yard line. That will be good enough for a first down. But it looks like that option, like we talked about earlier, they're really going to be utilizing that one tonight.
And the key for the Jesuit defense tonight is to be able to contain the edges. You know, they're going to fake the handoff inside. If it's not there, they're going to go to the outside. So it's important that those defensive ends and outside linebackers are there to stop it.
Yes, we do have Reed Caldwell, who is a defensive tackle, another senior. I believe he is sitting out tonight due to an injury, but we have Jacob Syke, like you said, and Mark Arsham, the starting kickoff for kicker. Hands it off to Jordan Torres, and he actually runs through the middle for a 30-yard gain. Excuse me, that is not Jordan Torres. That is number 22, John Hoffman, the junior wide receiver who took it off the option. That'll be one of Alvin's biggest run plays of the year, actually, according to the statistics. Looks like Alvin has been rolling.
Yeah, we're seeing Jesuit coming out in a pretty normal defense, right? We haven't seen them throw the ball at all in the game. So if I'm Jesuit, I'm going to make them beat me off the throw. Don't let them run up the middle and outside. You need to shut that down and make them beat you by throwing the ball.
Another option, hands it right up the middle, but looks like there's nowhere to go. He has nowhere to go. Looks like Jace Bordelon with the extra toughness in that tackle at the very end. Jace has been a dominant force all of his career since Strake Jesuit. It was his last home game on the senior night. Jace is definitely one of the hardest hitters on the team, but he just loves the game. Overall, has great character, a great guy.
And you saw there on that play, Jesuit fixed it, closed the hole in the middle, and they stopped him for no gain. So that's just how it's going to be. Make them beat you off the throw.
Bockel under center in a new formation. Hands it off to Jordan. Oh, keeps it this time. Will keep it, and he'll have nowhere to go. Looks like it's about gain of 0 yards. There is another flag on the play. What do you think it is?
By the looks of it, if it's on the offense, it's probably going to be a holding on those options. It's hard for the blockers to realize where the ball's going to go. So sometimes if they don't know where it's going to go, they'll hold on to the defender. I think that's what it's going to be. But we haven't seen anything out of Alvin tonight, except for the option. You know, it's like the triple option.
That one option that did get them 30 yards on one play, however.
Right, exactly. So if you're the Jesuit defense, you need to work to stop that, because they haven't shown you anything else. It looks like it is going to be some type of holding, because the Alvin offense is walking back.
You can assume, however, that once Jesuit figures out the option that they are running, they'll be able to just stop them more easily.
Right, because they haven't thrown the ball all game long, which means that they don't have some sort of confidence in their throwing game, right? So if Jesuit can stop that option, clog in the inside, make sure they contain the edges, they're going to stop them on offense. They're going to stymie them until they can beat them in the air.
Right on. Bockel goes back under center. That was a holding call. I brought him back about 10 yards, Bockel takes a snap, rolls out to his right, and he gets pressured right away. Nowhere to go. Just throws it away out of bounds. That'll make it about 3rd and 24, 3rd and long. Chris, it's a little early to say, but we've been talking about that option. What do you think they need to do differently in order to convert right here? 'Cause running an option definitely may not get you that close.
Right, so they tried doing that play action pass there, right? They've been doing the option all game long. They're thinking, okay, the defense is going to account for that. Mark Ostrom makes a very disciplined play and sticks with the ball, follows the quarterback, makes him throw it away. So now if you're Alvin, you're going to have to beat them in the air because it seems like they're containing the play action as of last play, and they're trying to stop the option.
Bockel under center, motions him pointing out to his right, hands it off right away. There is so much traffic in that backfield, they'll have nowhere to go. It'll be 4th down, and the Yellow Jackets will be forced to punt. Just keep running that option.
And then for the first time tonight, we're going to mention Jacob Knight's name. Good stop there in the middle. They are plugging the up in the middle. There is no space for the Alvin running backs to go through the middle. If they want to continue this option, they're probably going to have to pitch it to the outside. But if our edge defenders stop that, they're going to have to figure something else out.
Lance stays on, back to return this punt once again. Bockel looks like he's also their punter. A little bit of quarterback and punter action. That punt will bounce out right out of bounds on the left sideline. Crusaders will have it at about their own 19-yard line. They scored very quickly in the last drive, only 2 plays. Let's see what they can do right here. They're bringing out junior receiver Holden Maples. He has very good hands. Also, here comes junior running back Joel Crawford. He's in the backfield this time, as well as junior tight end Thomas Jewett, who had his own touchdown reception last game. Now let's see what these juniors can do. O'Hara lines up under center, hands it off to Crawford. Crawford right up the middle, and he'll get about 8 yards in the play. A huge wide open gap for him in the trenches right there, and it looks like this run game will be in their favor tonight.
We saw last possession, that big touchdown run by Alex May. This offensive line, as of now, is having their own day. They are pushing the defensive line around. If they can continue doing that tonight, the run game is going to be unstoppable. Once you get that run game going consistently, they're going to account for it, load the box more, and you can hit them with the play action pass.
Right on. O'Hara hands it off to Crawford. Looks like Crawford will be kind of stuck right there, right up the middle. They had about the same play again, run up the middle. It'll be about. Looks like the referee will give him the 1st down. Very close. Yes, the Crusaders will have the 1st down on this play. They're definitely going to keep running the ball tonight, as that defensive line for Alvin just looks a lot smaller than our offensive line. You have 5 seniors on this offensive line that have just been playing together since sophomore year. Lots of chemistry.
For sure, that chemistry comes super important to that offensive line. They know their strengths and weaknesses. They know when they need to go help each other in the blocking. I want to see the Jesuit offense bounce it outside with Joel Crawford. Let him use his playmaking abilities.
Drops back to pass, passes out to his right on a wheel route. Crawford takes it for about 2 yards, and he'll be brought down right at about the 22-yard line. 24-yard line. But that was, you said you wanted to see a pitch outside to the right to Crawford. Well, that was almost a pass out to the right.
And people will say, oh, that's just what, a 4-yard gain, not too much, but that's a rhythm maker for quarterback Connor O'Hara. Get that rhythm going. Once they need that big play downfield, he'll have the rhythm for it.
Lots of rhythm. O'Hara under center, motions Holden Maples out to the right. Hand off to Crawford. He'll run it up again up the middle, huge hole, and that'll be another 1st down for the Crusaders. Looks like they just need to keep running right up the middle, because that has worked every time for the Crusaders tonight.
What's the saying is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
I know.
Yeah.
Go with what you got. Go with what's working. If it's working, stay with it.
Right.
Keep feeding that fire.
Make Alvin plug up the inside. Make them beat you in the inside. Once they do, hit them with a quick pass. They're going to be loading the box, and they'll be wide open.
Considering how quickly the Crusaders scored in the 1st time, I want to see more on this passing game. Handoff to Crawford runs right up the middle for about a gain of 5 yards.
And for any viewers that say they want to see the passing game more, they're setting themselves up for the passing game. The Jesuit offense is built off of run the ball and hit them with play action. In order to hit them with that play action that's effective, they need to be able to run the ball effectively and get those big gains so that the defense, like I've said all night, bring more people into the box, open up the field for these dynamic receivers like Thomas Jewett, Will Taylor, Holden Maples to be wide open.
O'Hara under center again. This time he drops back to pass. He'll throw right out to his right. Oh, and he has a wide open Will Taylor. He made his defender fall. Will Taylor on his feet. Breaks another tackle and he stumbles and he will take it to the house. Looks like, is that a Crusader touchdown? Looks like he fumbled at about the one. Looks like he fumbled in the end zone. That might be a touchback, unfortunately.
I think they did call it a touchback.
Wow. So Will Taylor made his defender fall about 30 yards from the quarterback. Then he caught the pass, broke about 3 tackles, and was stumbling for the end zone, fumbled right at the goal line. Unfortunately, that'll be a touchback. But wow, regardless of that mistake, Will Taylor has been putting on a show tonight so far.
Barring the fumble at the very end, like we said earlier, Will Taylor is big play Taylor, averaging 17.5 yards a catch. And you saw it right there. The run, they set the run up effectively, had 3 runs with 8+ yards, hit them with the play action. Alvin wasn't ready. They brought the blitz. Will Taylor made a double move on his defender, made him fall, ran to the end zone. The fumble, it happens, right? But now the defense needs to get on track and give this Jesuit offense the ball back because they're on a roll.
This time it's Cody Smith under center. He pitches it out to his right to Jordan Torres. That'll be about a gain of 3 yards in the play. Looks like they're still running that option.
And if you're Jesuit, if I'm Jesuit, those linebackers on the outside, I'm going to contain them, Make them watch those 2 running backs in the backfield because they got 3 running backs. One on the left side, the middle, on the right side. Those 2 outside linebackers, make them watch the running backs in the backfield that are on the left and right. Mimic their movement, so if they go for the pitch, they're there to stop them.
Like I said, they brought in Cody Smith at quarterback. He's a senior. He has 76 total yards for the season and 1 touchdown pass, but he has a 50% completion percentage. Pitch again. Torres, gain of nothing on the play. That'll make it about 2nd and 5. 3rd and 5, excuse me. Big 3rd down. Looks like the Crusaders, if they can hold him right here, they'll get the ball back once again. And maybe just come back after fumbling at the goal line.
And I think this Jesuit defense is realizing that they can only run the option as of now because they're not having a single safety out back. They're playing all up front, man-to-man, and bringing the pressure.
Figuring them out.
Right. If you're Alvin, you need to switch something up, but if you're Jesuit, keep at it. You don't need a safety out there because the option is all they're doing.
Another pitch. This time it's number 33, the fullback. Flag on the play. 33 will have a wide open lane. He's going to be pushed out around the 35-yard line. I think this one's coming back.
It is coming back.
I believe it's holding. That was number 33. Number 33, Tony Vidana on the carry. He had a wide open lane for a little bit. If that, let's say hypothetically, that flag was not called, he would have had about a 40-yard gain. 40-yard gain on the play. But this one's coming back. It's holding.
Well, ultimately, the hole opened up because of that holding call, right? The defender was there, and he held him because the defender beat him to the spot. And as the offensive blocker, you want your running back to get the big hole, right? So sometimes you hold, it's going to get called back and bring it back. He was holding with number 42, Jordan Torres.
Unfortunate for the Yellow Jackets right there. Both teams tonight have had huge plays that have been brought back. You see all the Crusaders that block in the back after that nice punt return. This time it's for the Yellow Jackets. They have a huge holding call on about a 40-yard gain. This time they're going to have it at about 3rd and 16 from their own 10-yard line.
And like I mentioned before, Jesuit not playing with that safety out back, it's important that the defenders get to their spot because if the offensive blocker beats them, there is no one out back to stop the run. As we saw there, it took a lot of effort for Jesuit to get back on that play.
Cody Smith still in the backfield at quarterback. Hands it right off, but tries to hand it off to his running back right away, but he's just stuffed right away, nowhere. Once again, the Crusaders are finding great ways to just provide traffic in the trenches right away as the handoff is occurring. This will make it 4th down and potentially great field position for the Crusaders if they punt it. It looks like they will punt it. Great field position.
And I'm wondering just on Alvin's thinking, if the option's not working, why do they keep doing it? I mean, they can see that the Jesuit defense is beating them to the spot. The blockers aren't getting there in time. They're clogging up the interior. The outside, although it's a little bit sometimes open, the outside edge players are getting there.
Bach was at the end of his own end zone, almost blocked, almost a squib-like punt. It'll be down at about the Yellow Jackets' own 48-yard line. Still, great field position for the Crusaders. They'll have less than 50 yards to go. Make that about 20 yards until they hit Castellanos' field goal range, his target line. O'Hara jogs back out there. He's definitely played great last game. Like I said, 176 passing yards, one of his best games he's had. O'Hara is under center. Motions Will Taylor out to the left. Hand off to May, and he'll go right up the middle for about a 15-yard gain on the play. Nice run by Alex May up the middle. There is another flag on the play. This one might be coming back, but it was thrown from the defensive side of the field. Chris, what do you think this one is?
They're walking back now. I think it's going to be an offensive holding. That hole, although the hole's been big all game long, I think that one was a little too big. I think the offensive player, the blocker there, got a little too excited. Going to bring it back, and it is.
Lots of flags tonight so far. We've had holding call on both teams. This one is holding probably.
And if you notice, earlier in the game, Alvin was playing with no safeties out back because we were just running the ball. But after that big play by Will Taylor, which unfortunately ended in the fumble, they are playing a single high safety now. So if that's going to eliminate some of the big plays for Jesuit. So with that single high safety, now they're playing two safeties out back. They're going to have to rely on the run game.
Drops back, looking, lots of time, just throws it away. That might be intentional grounding. Nope, looks like he was out of the pocket. O'Hara got away with him right there, but still, smart decision that he made.
And like I was saying, they had Will Taylor and Holden Maples out on the left side of that play. With those two safeties out back, they're watching the quarterback's eye, so it's not going to allow for much space for O'Hara to zip that ball through. So if I'm Jesuit and the way I've been running the ball, if I see them in that two safety look, I'm going to pound the run game on them because they're taking someone away out of the box.
O'Hara under center. Hands off to May. Makes a little spin move right there. And we have a wide open lane. Daylight pushed out at about the 35-yard line. Great run by Alex May. He's having a great night tonight. One 35-yard touchdown and another 25-yard gain on this play. May's just having already off to a great start. He's on pace to have one of his best nights ever.
And if you're the Alvin defense right now, sure, you can play the too high safety look and take away that big play action pass, but then you're gonna get torched up in the run game. I mean, the Jesuit offensive line is just manhandling that Alvin defensive line, so they're gonna have to commit more players to the box in order to stop that.
That is very true. There's more commitment in the box. Motions Jack Shanklin out to the right, the senior tight end. Whistle's blown. Looks like the Crusaders will take their first timeout of the half.
Yeah, Alvin was showing blitz there, a big blitz. I don't think Jesuit was really prepared for that. I think Coach Kubiak saw that and said, let's take a timeout and regroup here.
While we take this timeout, we would like to ask you that if you know someone who might benefit from attending Strake Jesuit, be sure to have them check in on our open house this year, December 7th at 7 p.m. Go to www.strakejesuit.org/open house. Chris, do you just remember going to your own open house for Strake Jesuit about 4 years ago?
I do, although it's going to be a little bit different this year because of the circumstances that we have, being virtual and all. Yes, but I do remember it. It is a day that I will remember, the day that I decided to come to Strake Jesuit, and I do not regret coming to the school. It was a great school, many opportunities for kids to do what they like to do. It's just all around. It's a great school.
I was just very amazed by just how much they put on display there. They did a great job of displaying everything that our school has to offer. Back to the game. O'Hara will line up under center after this timeout. Motions Shanklin out to the right.
Alvin coming out in a pretty high set.
Another flag on the play. Looks like O'Hara might have a free play. Rolls out to his right. He has Thomas Jewett down on the right sideline. That'll be about a 7-yard gain from a Thomas Jewett reception. Let's see what this flag will be.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Alvin is playing such a high look right now. They got 3 men deep I know they got, like I said, they got burned a couple of times, but that close to their end zone, if I'm Alvin, I'm going to commit more to that run game because, I mean, Alex May's already had 2 big runs on them. Joel Crawford's had big runs on them as well. The offensive line is doing what they want to do. So if I were Alvin right now, I'd commit more to the box.
I mean, this is definitely one of the best starts I've seen Alex May get onto. I say you just keep handing it to him.
Right. I mean, it's coming back.
I mean, since it's the last home game, you obviously want to have the seniors just play as much as they can against a team that they can definitely beat. Only 7-0 though, and we're about under a minute and a half left in the first quarter.
Jake Foster in the game at fullback, backfield.
Hand off to May, right up the middle. May will have some room to work right there. He'll gain about 8 yards in the play. Makes that about 2nd and 7. Excuse me, no, much more than that. Makes it about 2nd and 1. Excuse me.
Those lead blockers are opening up the holes for Alex May. Bringing in that fullback in the backfield with him, he's leading the way for Alex May. Wherever he goes, Alex May is going to follow him. That fullback is going to block the guy that's in front of him, right, and open the hole for Alex May. The blockers are doing a great job opening up the first level for Alex May, and then he's taking advantage of the second level.
O'Hara under center again.
Joel Crawford subbed in.
Will Taylor's back in the game. Fakes out to his right, throws right to Will Taylor, and he's wide open, gets that touchdown. There we go. Touchdown Crusaders. Taylor got his touchdown right back on about a 15-yard pass play. Taylor got his right back after he fumbled in the end zone when he almost scored. But there you go. More Will Taylor action we've seen right there. Chris, what do you think?
It's good to see that O'Hara is getting that favorite target since Robert Smith is out. We're not sure for even how long he's out with that wrist injury. So it was really important for O'Hara to get that go-to guy, and Will Taylor's coming up as that go-to guy.
Yeah, pat on the back to Will Taylor, just got his touchdown right back, and the kick is good. Crusaders will go up with about 33 seconds left in the first quarter, 14-0. Crusaders are off to a great start. They've definitely utilized the inside run game. Defense has been playing great. They look like they've been figuring out Alvin, and it's just a great night at Clay Stadium.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Jesuit, I think the only flaw that you've had in this first quarter is that unfortunate fumble at the end of that big play from Will Taylor. But the defense is playing great. They figured out that the option, that's all they can do. I mean, once you figure that out, they haven't thrown the ball on them. They tried once on that play action. Mark Armstrong made sure that didn't work out by pressuring the QB. So, I mean, if you're Jesuit, you don't change anything right now. Only thing I would say, keep running the football. You have 14-0 lead right now. Your defense is playing great. Keep the ball on your side of the field. Keep it in your offense.
Keep it on
Give
your
your
side of the
defense
field.
break. Give your defense that break so they can continue playing the way they're playing, that elite level. I mean, if we've seen the games that Jesuit loses, it's because they get down early. They can't run the ball because when you're down, you need to throw the ball to make up that score deficit, right? And the defense is out there for such a long time. They get tired. That fatigue starts to kick in. So, and right now, I mean, they've been on the sideline for I don't know how long, so they're fully rested.
Arsham takes it again. Looks like number 28 will return it again. He'll be brought down at about the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that's number 27.
Jackson Baker.
Carson Roble, brought down by Carson Roble.
Brought down by 27, Jackson Baker.
Jackson Baker is a junior running back. He's definitely put in a lot of work last year on JV, but it's definitely been paying off. He's great on the inside run and very shifty.
And he's going to be essentially taking over for when Alex May leaves next year, right? Graduating
With Joel
senior
Crawford.
this year.
With
Joel
Crawford
Crawford's going to be the starting back.
Cody Smith drops back to pass. There was a lob pass. This one might be picked off. Oh, almost picked off by Gabe Greenwald. Looks like he couldn't quite pinpoint where the ball was heading. But a little bit of a dangerous, risky pass right there.
I mean, if we see there, Jesuit is the man-to-man is working, right? I don't even think they had a high safety there. I mean, we saw they tried throwing the ball. It didn't really work. It seems like this offensive line can't hold the defensive line of Jesuit, which could show as to why they're doing so many option plays, right? It gives them more options to get that big play or break through that hole that they want.
Looks like we'll just see right here if the Yellow Jackets continue to run that option. Cody Smith, the senior, still under center. They have not put Bronco back in the game. Takes a snap, and there's nowhere to go. Looks like they had trouble with the snap. And they were able to recover it, but they're just brought down right away. That's going to bring up about 3rd and 11 yards to go. Crusaders will just get the ball back, and we're heading to the very end of the first quarter. 7 seconds left. Time to take it down.
Yeah, overall, a good quarter for Jesuit, right? Only that one flaw in that fumble. The defense is playing great. They're bringing the pressure almost every play because they know about that option. If you're Jesuit, keep bringing that pressure. You've seen in a man-to-man situation that your defensive backs are going to beat their wide receivers. We saw that 2 plays ago. The defensive line is not giving the quarterback for Alvin enough time to throw the ball. So keep that pressure up. The offensive line can't hold it. They're going to keep doing that option. Keep pounding the inside. Contain the edges. This game will be yours. The defense will close the game.
I mean, despite some injuries, the Crusaders have been playing great tonight. Like you said earlier, Robert Smith is out right now after having a season-ending surgery yesterday for his wrist. It turns out he's been playing in the past couple of games with a couple of broken bones in his hand. Meanwhile, you have senior Willie Brown, who got hurt in the Shadow Creek game. He's out with a knee injury. Not sure when he will return, but he's definitely been a big dude on the defensive line. More plays outside linebacker, but definitely they'll want him back for the playoffs. But other than that, the Crusaders have been playing great despite those injuries. And
it's also that morale boost that we were talking about. A couple games ago, Jesuit having some big losses, and it's good that they won last week and looking good so far today.
Now we enter into the second quarter. Looks like there's an offsides on our end. Looks like it's number 52, Matthew Polacic. Polacic is a senior. He's been playing his last home game here tonight. He's playing with a giant giant cast around his arms. Excuse me. He seemed to have a huge wrist injury as well.
And him playing through that, just showing the toughness that this Jesuit defense had, and they're showing it tonight. I mean, when you're going up in the trenches down there in the middle of the offensive line there, you know, it's a tough thing. And
pitch right again to number 33, but he'll be brought down for a huge loss in the play. Forward progress. That'll be about a loss of 4 yards. That was number 33.
Jacob Syke on that. Wow.
Tony Badonna and Syke
blasting out of the backfield. I mean, he read that play coming from a mile away.
He got there so fast.
Great play by Jacob Syke. And that's what we're saying. I mean, the Jesuit defense, I think they're figuring out what they do, you know. Toss to the first back. If that first back's not open, they're going to pitch to the next guy available. But Jacob Syke made sure that there was no other pitch, made him for a loss of 4.
Yeah, the Crimson are definitely getting a great player in Jacob Syke next year. And the Yellow Jackets will punt again. This time it's blocked. It is blocked by number 53, Mark Arsham. The Crusaders look to return it, and that is Matthew Polacic who jumps on the punt after getting that offsides call. What a great play. The Crusaders have a great field position after that blocked punt. They're going to take it at about the Yellow Jackets' own 28-yard line. Great field position.
And Jesuits have been having some special teams issues this season, and it's a really a good sign that they're able to get the special teams team back on track. You know, good block punt gives your offense amazing starting field position and possibly another score.
This time they have Joel Crawford in the backfield, but guess who's also back there? It's the junior tight end Thomas Jewett. But now they motion him out to the right. Hand off to Crawford. He'll look, make a couple moves. Oh, it avoids a tackle for loss. Still on his feet, pushing him forward. He might be near a first down on this one. This turned out from no gain to about an 8-yard gain.
And that's just the playmaking of Joel Crawford. We've seen that this game, past game, 160 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, the kid is an amazing football player. I mean, that play was nothing. There was 2 guys on him. Turned it from a negative yardage play to a gain of 8.
Definitely a very hard worker. A lot of these players worked very hard in the offseason when finding the weight room was very scarce. Definitely has paid off. Hand off to Crawford again. He'll have a wide open gap.
Great.
Daylight. And he will stumble to about the 3-yard line. Great play. That was very similar to Will Taylor's stumble when he almost fumbled in the end zone.
And that was a great block there by number 10, Holden Maples. Opened that hole up, took the second level guy out, and opened that space up for Joel Crawford to run through.
Great great athletic play. That was, I'd say that was kind of a mix of, looked like a mix between Will Taylor's play where he fumbled in the end zone and Alex May's first touchdown. Wide open gap, and then just a stumble at the very end.
Yeah, you know, sometimes the turf, it gets the tip of your cleat and makes you stumble sometimes.
Crusaders will have it first and
Watch
goal.
for play action here.
Hand off to Crawford, and he'll have a wide open gap. That is another touchdown for the Crusaders. They will go up 20-0. Crusaders are very dominant tonight. That is Joel Crawford with a 3-yard gain. And wow, the running backs are definitely shining tonight.
Normally, I'd say, when you're running the ball that effectively, the other defense, the opposing defense, is going to figure that out and put more people in the box, right? That's going to open up the play action. But tonight, Alvin seems like they're keen on not getting burnt in the passing game, and for some reason, they don't mind getting beat up in the running game.
Castellanos' kick is good. The Crusaders will be up 21-0 with about 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter. Off to a great first half.
I mean, every single deep possession there on the defensive side by Alvin, they had three guys playing high. You know, you sub those guys out, bring in more heavy players, right? That inside linebacker, or bring in an extra defensive lineman to clog up the inside. But I mean, I guess they're keen on playing the 3-eye look.
The 3-and-I look has been very effective for them tonight, and they are on in the way that they've been playing in this game. They're on pace to go up by as much as 35.
I mean, there's nothing else to say other than Jesuit is controlling the game. Like we said at the beginning, it's all about for Jesuit taking control of the game. When you fall behind, that run game becomes almost non-existent. And we've seen the past games that Jesuit loses. The passing game can't get them back in it. They're heavily reliant on the running game. And it's a great sign that they're up 21-0 with still 10 minutes left in the second quarter.
Marsham's going to kick off. It'll be number 28. Wyatt Stinson will just let the ball bounce back into the end zone as they will take it at about the 20-yard line. Good call by number 28 right there. Just may as well just take it where you can get your best field position.
And if you're the Jesuit defense line now coming on, don't change anything.
Don't change anything, that's right.
They're not changing their scheme on you. They're continuing with that triple option play or the read option toss to the running back. And they're stopping it every single time. So there's nothing to change here unless they show you a new look, which they haven't up until now at this point.
Looks like they're lining up in that same option formation they've been lining up the whole game. 2 men in the backfield. Pitches it, hands it right off, nowhere to go. That's happened a lot tonight, Chris.
And I don't know why they keep trying it. I mean, they think that they're gonna get it up the gut, get the 3-4 yard gain, but they haven't. I mean, they're stopped for no gain.
I think if I'm Alvin right now, I'd try testing out the shotgun. Try running it from shotgun. Try utilizing that passing game. We have not seen a lot of that tonight.
We've seen them try play action once. I mean, they've run the ball every single time. Try the play action. I mean, Jesuit's going to be expecting run. I mean, so if you hit them with that play action, they might shoot bite on it, right? And you're going to have a big play downfield.
And the option is hard. The option is hard to
the box is loaded for Alvin right now.
A little bit of a reverse right there. Cody Bockel, excuse me, no, he even faked me out. If that was number 20, Kelton Morrison Coffin, he was brought down for about a loss of 1 yard. Nowhere to go on that play.
And like we said before, Alvin down 21-0. Jesuit defense manhandling them right now. I'm not sure why they're not trying something new, you know? I mean, if it works, don't fix it, right? But it clearly has not worked thus far.
Now Alvin's facing another third down, 3rd and 11. Let's see what they can do. Maybe you have to pass it right here. You've got to pass it.
I mean, they've run the ball in the past 4 3rd and longs, so we'll see how that is now.
Another pitch again to number 42, Jordan Torres. Torres will make a man miss, but Arsham meets him right there. Great form tackling by Mark Arsham. He'll be brought down at about the 42-yard line. Not enough for a first down. That's a great form tackle by Mark Arsham. He was there to meet him right away. If he wasn't there, who knows? Jordan Torres might have gone for another 20 yards.
I would say, and I mean, if you're Alvin right now, down 21-0, 4th and short, you're going to have to go for it. They're not going to go for
They're
it.
bringing their punting unit out on the field.
Down 21-0, I know it's on your side of on the field, but 4th and short, it's the closest thing you've gone to a first down almost all game.
Yeah.
And they just fooled you with the option.
You're
You
down,
just fooled the
you're
Jesuit
down by
defense with
3
the option.
touchdowns. Why not go for it? I mean, yes, you're not in the best territory to go for it, but you got to take your risks sometime. Short
Not a
punt,
good punt
very
either,
high.
so,
That's
I
going to be
mean-
on the right sideline. That Crusaders will have it at about their own 49, excuse me, their own 46-yard line. Another just great field position for the Crusaders to start with. We'll see O'Hara come back onto the field. Maybe he'll light up the passing game again, as the running game has already been on perfectly, and we'll just see what they can do.
I mean, I'm sure O'Hara, right, wants to get that passing game going, right? He's been handing the ball off all game. But if you're Jesuit, the Jesuit offense, don't change it. They haven't stopped you.
No.
I mean, 2 rushing touchdowns.
O'Hara throws out to his right. He has Will Taylor right again, right through his hands. A little bit of a tough grab right there, but Will Taylor, from the looks of it, is very frustrated with himself about that play, as he definitely could have hauled that one in.
Yeah, a little high of a throw by O'Hara, but I mean, if you're Will Taylor there, you got to haul that one in.
But you know,
Second
those
and 10.
receivers, they love those tough throws. Tough
Yeah.
catches make for great highlights.
For sure. Just a matter of pulling them in.
Holden Maples is out on the far right sideline with Will Taylor on the left
Blitz
sideline.
off the right.
Alex May in the backfield.
They're bringing the blitz.
O'Hara fakes the
Great
handoff
blocking.
to May. Will throw it right to his tight end. That is the sophomore Chico Holt. That'll be out a gain of 1 yard, about 1 or 2 yards in the play. That's going to make it about 3rd and 8.
A good play design there by Jesuit. Fooled almost everyone on the right side of the line.
Yeah, he had the
Great blocking.
fake handoff to Alex May.
I think if you're Chico Holt there, rather than cutting back, you continue going down the field, gain an extra couple yards. They're calling 2nd and 10.
Looks like they're not. Looks like they're not changing the scoreboard.
The referees are.
Waiting to get it fixed. I think it's about 3rd and 8 right now.
They're a holding on the defense. They're calling. I think.
Yeah, there's a holding on the defense. I didn't even notice there was a flag.
I didn't see the flag either. Must have been in the secondary because nowhere near the line of scrimmage. It's gonna be an automatic first down for Jesuit, I believe.
And here, yep, about 1st and 10. Crusaders will bring it up about 10 more yards. Great, just they're gonna have it at about their own the Alvin's own 29-yard line. The Crusaders are just loving this.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're playing with the 2 safety look. Just pound the ball.
Hand off to May. May will cut it out to his right. He'll be brought down at about the 25-yard line. That's about a gain of 5 on the play. Make that about 2nd and 6. Just another shot right there, running it right up the middle. That seemed to work a lot for the Crusaders tonight.
And we're used to tonight seeing those big run plays. Those first down, 3-yard, 4-yard gains, they're not a bad thing. You know, they get the offense in rhythm. You run the ball again, another 3-4 yards, you're down to a 3rd and 2, a 3rd and short, get a big play, possible big play.
Offenses would love to have about, 2nd and 6, 3rd and 5 or 2nd and 4 every
Right.
play.
It's allowing
Just
for
those
that.
small yard gainage plays.
Allowing for the 2nd and shorts.
O'Hara fakes the handoff to Alex May. Looks like he's going to throw it. Oh, okay. Avoids the intentional grounding right there as he threw it to Jake Foster, who was in the area. Looks like he tried to throw it away, but Foster was in the area to avoid the intentional grounding call. That's going to be about 3rd and 7 now. Crusaders, I believe, are facing. This is their first third. This is the 3rd down tonight for them. That's been with the most yards they've had to gain. Only 7 yards.
We haven't had many incompletions tonight. I mean, number 45, Marshall Garcia had a good play there, coming up to Connor O'Hara.
3rd and 7. May hands off to May. May avoids a tackle. Looks like he's going to get the first down. Lots of tackles. He avoids another one, and wow! May is all the way in the end zone. He broke about 6 tackles on that play. Very shifty. May's having his 2nd touchdown of the night. He loves it. Now put the Crusaders up by 27 with the ensuing extra point.
That's a great play because the defensive line for Alvin broke through the offensive line there. Alex May made a couple guys miss and then took it upon himself to go score.
Alex May very shifty right on that play right there. I thought he was going to be brought down before he even gained the first down.
It seemed like a broken play
It did.
over there.
It
And,
really
and
did.
Alex May, like we've seen Joel Crawford earlier, turned it from nothing into something. 6.
You know, heading into the end of the season, after this game, the Crusaders will have one more regular season game. That'll be away at Ely State. Then, you know, you hope that they're going to clinch that last playoff spot in District 23-6A. But if they do, you really have this running game that's been very comfortable so far. They've really gotten used to the ground game heading into the playoffs. So hopefully, like that'll be ready for them.
And the pros of having that strong running game, you control the game itself. You
Oh,
control
for sure.
the way the clock works to the way you like it. You give your defense that rest on the sideline. Like I've said before, when Jesuit doesn't get their running game going, their offense is stagnant because they can't rely on the passing game. And even though we're up 28-0 here, it's good that Jesuit keeps going, because by doing that, it's like almost practice in a way, you know? They're getting those plays, those reps in for the future games, and maybe even the playoffs if they make it.
All I gotta say is, when you can control the time clock, you can control the entire game.
I'm not sure if we have any NFL fans out there, but if we see how the Baltimore Ravens play, they love to run the ball, and that's kind of how we're doing it now.
Oh, for sure. Lots of running from their own running back, Mark Ingram, and their own quarterback, Lamar Jackson.
And, I mean, Connor O'Hara is not the most mobile guy, but we've got two amazing running backs in the
Right.
backfield, Alex May and Joel Crawford.
They've definitely put on a show tonight. Crawford has 1 touchdown. May has 2. So it's fitting for May that he has 2. It's his senior night. He's definitely loving it. I remember just 2 years ago on JV when Alex May scored 4 touchdowns against the former District 23-6A member. That was Brazos Wood and George Ranch. Were replaced this year by Alvin and Shadow Creek. But May had 4 touchdowns, one of his best games on this field.
Great player.
Alvin will take the ball at about their own 25-yard line. Pitch to number 27. That is Carson Roble. He'll be brought down. That's about a gain of 6 in the play.
Yeah,
He'll be brought down out of bounds at about the 33-yard line.
The Jesuit defense got sucked in there they fell for the first handoff, right? The fake, and they pitched it outside. Number 56, I believe, for Jesuit. Dylan Domini, I believe.
Dylan Domini.
Or Spencer Cola. I'm not sure who. But they read the play there.
That is Spencer
They just
Cola.
were a little short, a little slow to get there, but they read it. It's just important for the Jesuit defense not to get sucked in too much, because they will hit you with that outside toss.
Right on. Trevor Bockel back under center. Hands it off. He'll fake the pitch. This time he pitches it to no gain on the play. Actually a loss. He pitched it to number 20, Hilton Morrison Coffin.
And just like we said, the Jesuit got disciplined there, didn't get sucked in, made sure that the edges were contained, stopped them for a loss of yards there.
Hey, if this is all that Jesuit defense has to do for the rest of the game, I'd say they're in very good hands.
For sure, and not even for this game. I know you're not going to be facing teams that only run option, but they're getting into a groove here. They're getting that practice and these plays and that chemistry heading into the short stretch of the season.
Hands it right off, up the middle, right under center, and now it's going to get nowhere on the play. Bockel tried handing it off in that option again. That didn't get anywhere. But that's going to bring up another 4th down for the Yellow Jackets, and you just got to go for it now. You're losing by 28. There's about under 4.5 minutes left in the half. Try to get something going before the half,
Like
right?
I said before, they had a 4th and 3 in the last quarter. They had to punt it away, punted it 15 yards, gave Jesuit amazing field positioning. 3 plays later, touchdown.
Right.
So they're going to have to take some risks to get back into this game. You need to take some shots. Their interior run game is almost non-existent, and they fumble the snap.
Fumble on the play. Looks like Alvin still recovers it, but that won't be enough for a 1st down. Looks like it's going to be turnover on downs. I believe there was just some miscommunication on the snap right there.
I mean, yeah, Alvin, they're referring back to that same triple option look that they want to do. I mean, they're discussing now who recovered the ball, but I don't think it matters.
I believe it was
It's
Alvin. Some of the Jesuit players are saying it's their ball.
4th down, so I'm not sure. Does it matter, Robert? I mean,
It
either
was
way,
4th down, so it's either going to be turnover on downs because he did not get the 1st down in time. It's just a matter of where will the ball be spotted. Regardless of who recovered it, it's going to be Jesuit's ball. where will the ball be spotted? It's not it's a very small difference in where it will be spotted, only about a couple yards, but I think the refs are just trying to figure out what exactly went on the play right there. Bonkel had a little bit of miscommunication with the snap, fumbled it right away, dove for it. Looks like when he picked it up, he got it back and tried diving for the first, but he didn't quite get there.
And for the Jesuit defense, we haven't mentioned any defensive back's name all game long. And for a football game, that's good.
It is.
When
it's
you don't
great.
say a defensive back's name, that's what you want to have. So, a lot of Jacob Syke tonight. You know, the defensive line is clogging the interior.
Everyone's playing to their strengths.
They've gotten the Jesuit a little off guard, right, on some of those pitches out to the outside. But when they try it the next time Jesuit's there, they read it, they react. You know, they make up their mistake. So the Jesuit defense playing a great game tonight. No complaints.
For sure, there's just less than 4 minutes left in the first half. Crusaders will take over on offense. This time O'Hara's in the backfield by himself at shotgun.
First time we've seen that tonight.
First time we have. Avoids the sack, almost sacked. Oh, and he will run it out to his left after almost getting sacked. Oh, tries to take a hit right there. O'Hara's going to be brought down for about a 3-yard gain on the play. O'Hara definitely saw the pressure coming and was very elusive enough to avoid the sack.
Yeah, O'Hara showed great pocket awareness on that play. And if I'm Coach Kubiak, I don't want O'Hara taking that hit at the end, you know, for that extra couple of yards. Just take the slide.
A little bit of a... Go ahead.
You know, he wants to show the toughness and physicality that he has, and that's okay. But, I mean, if you're Coach Kubiak in the Jesuit offense, you want your quarterback sliding.
Hand off to Crawford, right up the middle. Crawford will see daylight again, and we are going to see our 4th rushing touchdown of the night. Touchdown Crusaders. Crawford saw daylight right away as he broke the first tackle. The Crusaders are going to go up 34-0. That's 2 touchdowns apiece, 2 rushing touchdowns apiece from May and Crawford. What a great night for these Crusaders.
And when you're luxurious enough to have 2 high quality and caliber running backs, you don't have to have one workhorse and get him tired throughout the game. Fatigue plays a big role in football games and in sports in general. So if you can manage their carries, right? Two carries for Crawford, 2 carries for May. Although it might not get that rhythm that you want, but they're talented enough to us to where they don't need that rhythm. Oh, I think Castellanos missed the extra point.
Castellanos missed his extra point.
Looked like he shanked it a little bit. But as I was saying, I mean, when you have two high caliber running backs like that, you don't have to workhorse one of them and get them tired for the weeks after, you know? You can use them effectively and wisely. Spread them out, spread out the carries. They're both great players, great talents. Use them both.
The lead is still very comfortable. Crusaders are up by 34 to 0. 3:17 left in the first half. Great game so far.
And I mean, as we've seen from Alvin this year, 0-5, 42-7 loss last week versus Dawson. But Jesuit doesn't need to think of that. You know, they're playing a good game. Their offense is clicking. The defense is playing beautifully. I mean, if you're Jesuit, you just keep it up. Don't worry about who you're playing. Have the mindset that you're playing the best opponent every single week. So when you do go play that best opponent, supposedly, you're going to be able to knock them off and beat them.
Now, the way I've been seeing it is that even though Alvin's not the best team, and that the Crusaders should still be pretty dominant against them, I think that Jesuit is definitely playing off of a lot of anger. Like fiery anger that will help them for their team.
Right.
They played the toughest teams in the district first, and I'm sure that they just really wanted to come out with 4 wins. They're just releasing all that energy on these teams in the back half of their schedule now.
For sure, and another thing is, we've seen sometimes Alvin on those outside runs, you know, beat them to the punch a little bit, and it's good that we're seeing Jesuit, they're reacting to that play. So when they try that the next time, they're there to stop it, which is good for future games and the future schedule, you know, the Jesuit defense being able to read and react like that.
Arsham's kick will have the Yellow Jackets at about their own 25-yard line. Cody Smith under center. Doesn't even have time to pitch it. He's just sacked right away. That would be about a loss of 4 yards in the play.
Yeah, Jesuit's just sending almost everyone now inside the box. They're not throwing the ball, so what's the point of having all those DBs out there, right?
They know exactly what to do.
I mean, we've seen when they do try to throw the ball, our defensive backs are locking their wide receivers up. So if you're Jesuit, just keep up this pressure, this blitz. Don't let them get into all this options play, you know. Give them the first option, clog the defense, clog the middle up, and if it's not there, get to the quarterback fast enough.
Now, as the Crusaders take their second timeout, we'd like to ask you to save the date for Spring Fling on Sunday, March 7th, 2021. Spring Fling is a carnival with fun for all ages that is open to straight Jesuit families in the surrounding community. delicious food, exciting games, entertainment, inflatables, a casino, our new innovator/maker showcase, and plenty of fellowship will all be there. We hope you can join us on March 7th for a day full of family-friendly fun. Proceeds from Spring Fling benefit the Sprague Jesuit Financial Aid Program.
A great day, fun day for all families to come in together. Even if they're not from Jesuit, bring your relatives over. It's a great day to have fun, just to hang out around the school.
And any students tuning in, make sure to sell those raffle tickets before the deadlines. I know that no deadlines have been set yet, but you just always got to be on the lookout for when they are.
We're playing safety high now. Not a very...
Cody Smith keeps the play, pitches it off in time to his running back. Almost got sacked. That could have been almost a fumbled interception. You know what I'm talking about? When you try to fumble it, but then you try to pitch it out.
Exactly right.
Pick the intercepted pitch, but that almost happened. Didn't happen though.
And when you go for that intercepted pitch, like you say, or any interception in general in the backfield, if you don't get there, you're leaving that gap open. And that's what happened there. They went for the interception on that pitch, tried to pick off the pitch. They gave up 4 yards to play. But in that situation, the risk compared to the reward is worth it. The risk, pick that ball up, give your offense the chance, and the risk is you give up 4 yards.
Agreed. Alvin will definitely want to score here as it's almost halftime. Pitches it to number 16. This might be one of their best running plays of the night. That was a wide open lane on the left side. Cody Smith pitched it off to number 16, Daniel Bloom. That'll be about a gain of about 10 yards on the play. That might be Alvin's only second first down of the night.
And like we said before, whenever they do get that big play, it seems like Jesuit gets sucked in. Number 36, Billy Van Pelt for Jesuit got to the quarterback in time, but pitched it right afterwards. It's like a screen pass almost. They want the defender to get to the quarterback.
Smith drops back to pass, and he's sacked right away. Pressure is brought by number
37.
Excuse me, 37, Jacob Syke. Jacob Syke is usually wearing that number 99, but this season he's doing 37. They brought in new jerseys, but yeah, pressure was just in the backfield. The minute the ball was snapped.
And I guess that answers the question as to why aren't they throwing the ball more. I think Alvin, knew coming in, their offensive line can't hold the defensive line. Jacob Syke and the rest of his crew on that defensive line is having a field day.
Do what you gotta do to avoid that pressure. Fakes the pitch. Cody Smith will go nowhere on the play. Still more than 10 yards to go. That's going to be about 3rd and 12.
And if you're the Jesuit defense, this is a win-win situation. You got a 3rd and long, and if you're a defense, it's exactly what you want, because you force that offense to make those big plays. Now, that being said, Alvin's had some big 3rd and longs today. They haven't thrown the ball, and they're still running it. So, if you're Jesuit, maybe you commit one more guy to the backfield just in case. They're going to throw the ball, but, we've seen in the past those big 3rd and longs, they haven't thrown it tonight.
Not at all.
And once again,
pitch right away. This one's actually going to get them almost another first down as time is winding. 0 seconds on the clock. That was actually another great play. One of the better plays that Alvin's offense had in this game. Pitched right up the middle. And they gained about 9 yards.
I think so. I'm not sure. Alvin has 3 timeouts, and there's 15 seconds left. In the
4th and 1. Definitely going to spike it. Oh, no, QB sneaking because it's 4th down. Looks like they will get it. Still pushing, still on his feet. They definitely got it. Ref it just blew the whistle. It looks like it's just, regardless that they got the first down, that's going to bring us to the end of the half.
I'm not sure what Alvin was doing there. They had 3 timeouts. They could have gotten at least 3 points up there.
Right. Now, the end of the half, that brings your score. Your Jesuit Crusaders 34, the Alvin Yellow Jackets 0. What a great half for the Crusaders. We'll be right back when we resume play. Thank you for tuning in, and go Crusaders.
a great half for the Crusaders. Welcome to the Crusader Sports Network halftime show. Strake Jesuit is up 34-0 right now. I've got my friend and co-host Diego Sanchez. Diego, what do you think about that half for the Crusaders?
It's been everything that you were alluding to earlier, Will. The Crusaders have nailed every single point. The run game has been phenomenal. We've seen 2 touchdowns each from both of our running backs. We've seen O'Hara getting in his rhythm with a passing touchdown, and the defense has been lights out. You saw Jacob Syke with some really big stops there. The Crusaders are looking phenomenal out there.
Yeah, so as I like to do is just reassess this team from the things that I thought they needed to do pregame, and let's see how they're doing on each one of those. I said don't underestimate Alvin. You know, anything can happen. Obviously, they haven't lived up to expectations, or maybe they have because they're not a high-scoring team and they give up a lot of points. But obviously, the defense is playing great, the offense is playing great, and they're cautious of that team because they're running some interesting sets.
Yeah, you're talking about that. You know, they're just really, they want to run this kind of Baltimore Ravens-esque offense. You know, a lot of options in the back. You know, Robert was talking about this on the broadcast. They're not running anything out of the shotgun, really. You know, I'd like to see them diversify their plays a little bit because so far the Crusader defense hasn't been fooled whatsoever. They obviously saw this in the film room over the week, and they have been able to stop every single run thrown at them here tonight.
Absolutely. And the second key was to feed Joel Crawford, keep him at around that 25 carry range. Obviously, we won't know how many carries he gets until the end of the game, but it doesn't seem like he'll get that, although he's got 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's playing lights out. And let's also talk about Alex May. You know, Alex May, I think this is the best game we have seen out of him this entire season. He's running through this defense like it's Swiss cheese, and his agility is really showing. You see the cutbacks he makes. He's breaking a lot of tackles, and to be frank with you, this has really been the best that we've seen of him so far.
Yeah, for sure. My third key was to don't let up within reason. At this pace, they will win the game 68-0. Now, that sounds like a crazy number, and maybe they shouldn't score that many points, but this is a team coming off of a win. They may need a little bit more of a confidence boost. Would you agree?
Exactly, and if we're looking at the playoffs, this is a great win to spring off of. You got one more game next week that you have to win, and going forward, this is the confidence booster that the team really needs. They're playing well. Everything is finally clicking because at the beginning of the season, everything was pretty slow. But now they're starting to get confidence in themselves. They're starting to play a lot better, and it's really showing here tonight.
It has really showed tonight. That's an understatement. And the last key that I said in the pregame show was to feel pressured to get third down stops. Well, not only have they gotten third down stops, but Alvin has felt pressured to go for it on fourth down, and there's been a lot of turnover on downs.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the defense, and Jacob Syke specifically have really wreaked havoc on this Alvin offense. And as you said, now that they're down, what is it now, 38-0 at the half?
34-0.
34-0 at the half. They have to start taking a lot of risks, and that's why you're seeing them go for it on fourth. We saw a fumble even just before the half. So the Jesuit defense has really been a nightmare for this Alvin offense, and if they continue to do so, I think we can see the shutout be a reality.
Yeah, it would be the first shutout of the year for the Crusaders at home here. We're really happy to see that. You said the defense is a nightmare. It's the best nightmare that we could see here. And, well, we're going to take this one to break, and we will be right back for the second half.
And we are back. Crusaders dominating the Alvin Yellow Jackets by a score of 34-0. We start the second half, and your Jesuit Crusaders will be receiving the ball. Great half has just been played. Chris, what are your initial thoughts on just how we've seen this game play out tonight?
Well, as I said at the beginning of the game, the key points for Jesuit to get this win is run the ball effectively and get up early in the lead. And they did exactly that, pounding in on the run game. The offense has been amazing, other than that one flaw, you could say, in the Will Taylor fumble right before the end zone. The defense allowing 0 points, not even near scoring position. At the end of the half, Alvin had a chance, didn't call their timeouts. So, I mean, overall, this has been probably by far the best game Jesuits played all year long.
Great game. I don't even think this season they've scored plus 30 points in the first half. But what a great milestone for them this season.
Let alone give up 0.
This return is fielded by the junior defensive back, Craig Royal. He's still on his feet, avoids a couple tackles. He's brought down at about their own 29-yard line, where the Crusaders will take over from here. Connor O'Hara has been playing great tonight. So, especially the running backs. 2 touchdowns on the ground for Crawford, another 2 touchdowns on the ground for Alex May. So what a great night tonight for the run game. And hopefully we can see more of maybe the pass game as the run game has just been perfect.
And let's just give a quick shout out to that offensive line and fullbacks that are out there making those big open holes for the running backs as well.
Right. O'Hara's under center.
May goes to the backfield.
It's a pitch to Alex May out to the left. May will take it. Great 2 blocks.
Wow.
May will cut it to the other side of the field. He runs exactly to the other side, still on his feet, and he's pushed out of bounds at Alvin's own 47-yard line. Alex May took the pitch to the left, had 2 great blocks by his 2 offensive linemen, and then literally took a straight shot to the other end of the sideline, got the first down, and was pushed out the other sideline.
Number 51, Samson Reed, and 72, Paul Pavlidis on the beginning of that run with 2 nasty blocks to open up the hole for Alex May, and then Alex May took over right after.
First down for the Crusaders. Crawford in the backfield. This time it's a handoff to Joel Crawford. Runs it up the middle, avoids a couple tackles, and that's another first down.
They just can't stop them. I mean, if I'm Alvin, I'm putting everyone on the line.
Yeah,
until you can stop them.
Looks like the Crusaders are just going to go with what they did in the first half, utilize that run game efficiently, use it very well. I'd say this is the game where the run game has definitely worked the best for them. They've just gained 2 first downs in a row, which are the very 2 first plays of this half.
And like we said, they're distributing Alex May and Joel Crawford's carries, going 1 and 1 each to get them rested for max efficiency.
O'Hara will keep it this time, fakes the handoff to May. Throws it right downfield to Will Taylor. Overthrew him just a little bit. That'll be incomplete.
Oh, and he had him open. Will Taylor broke off his man, was open in the end zone. Connor O'Hara just overthrew him a little bit. Felt the pressure coming in from the defensive lineman of Alvin and just overthrew him a tad.
Will Taylor had quite an impressive first half despite 1 fumble in the end zone that was called for a touchback. He almost scored there. He actually had a great 35-yard reception to open up the Crusaders offense in the first play of the game. Then he had about a 30-yard reception that turned into a fumble in the end zone for a touchback. But then he got his own touchdown on a 20-yard pass. O'Hara hands off to May. May will look up the field. Daylight still, and that will be the 5th rushing touchdown of the game. The first touchdown to start the Crusaders' first half. O'Hara just ran straight through 4 tacklers just to give the Crusaders the score.
It's just amazing what Alex May can do. I mean, there were 4 people around him, like you said, broke through all 4 tackles, just outran them, just out-muscled them to the end zone. It's just a great play. I mean, starting off with the offensive line up front, and then Alex May taking over in the second layer.
You know, Chris, I think that was the exact same play that Alex May scored on when he scored his first touchdown tonight. I just think it was on the opposite side of the field. Just a quick pitch.
A great, it's just a great play. Play calling by Coach Kubiak knows what's working tonight. I mean, they're trying those big plays. They've gotten a couple big passes, right? They had Will Taylor open in the end zone. Connor O'Hara overthrew him a little bit. But I mean, sure, you want to keep your quarterback in rhythm just in case. But I mean, if the run game is working the way it is, just run through them and make that defense tired. I mean, I guarantee you at this point, that defense is fatigued even after halftime.
Castellanos' extra point is good. He is 6 for 7 tonight on extra points. Definitely been a very good kicker for him last season. He was actually the starting kicker for field goals and extra points on varsity last year. Very consistent, and he has another year of varsity under his belt for next year. He'll be very used to the kicking game. However, Mark Arsham, like we said earlier, he is a defensive tackle, but he does our kickoffs. He can really boot that ball down to the back of the end zone. Let's see, or almost the back of the end zone. That'll be hard to do in high school, but he can really boot it.
And like we said earlier, when you don't say a defensive back's name all game long, that's a good thing. We've mentioned our kicker more than our defensive backs tonight.
That is very true. Booming kick. This one will actually go over into the end zone, over the returner's head, and it'll be called for a touchback. Alvin will open up with their first drive of the half. Hopefully they, on that last drive before half ended, that actually looked like their best drive. They gained about 2 first downs, which they haven't really done all night. Just
For sure. Now that being said, there was a little time on the clock, and Jesuit was playing a little bit far back. Taking those big deep balls. There's only a minute left in the half, so there's no point for Jesuit to line up in the line and let a big play happen. They played a little bit off a little bit, and that's essentially why they had that good possession.
The junior quarterback, Trevor Bockel is back in the game. They ran the option again, and he hands it off to his running back, and that's just going to be another loss of 1 or 2 yards. Alvin has really tried. They've tried. Give credit to them for really attempting to make it work, but they've really struggled on getting this option game to work out for them.
And it's just not working, and I think it's time. I'm not sure if they even have anything else in the game plan. Just want to mention number 53, Mark Arsham, coming up with that tackle. We just mentioned him. He's the kicker, and he's out there bringing people down like nothing. Shows you the diversity and athleticism of Mark Arsham.
Alvin is playing with one receiver on the right and left. Pitch to Bockel. Bockel pitches it, and this is a good play.
I think that was the best play for Alvin tonight. I mean,
one of their best plays.
Maybe not yardage wise, but effective wise, they sold the pitch very well, and the lead blockers were out there, and they made the big hole for Alvin.
Alvin pitched it off to their running back, and they gained for about 12 yards on the play. That gave him a first down. First downs have been very scarce for Alvin tonight.
And I mean, if you're Alvin, sure, you have a couple of big run plays, but for the most part, you're getting stuffed on first, second, and third down. I think if you're Alvin, you gotta try something new. I'm not sure if they have anything else in the game plan though.
Ball in the backfield, hands it off to his running back, number 33. That is Tony Vidana, the senior running back. He's gotten a couple of touches tonight, but hasn't really gained. As for Alvin in general, they haven't really gained much in the run game. A couple of first downs, like we mentioned earlier, but that's about it.
Yeah, this Jesuit defense has been a brick wall, especially that run defense. I guess you could say if you wanted to be really critical, sometimes the edges are being uncovered, on those big plays, allowing those pitches. But not everything is perfect. Sometimes it's going to happen, and it's not really effective.
No, it really hasn't been working out for them. Bockel keeps the handoff, but pitches it to his running back, number 20, where he is met by 4 straight Jesuit defenders. He'll be called down for forward progress.
Running with 52, and Matthew Kolosik tried juking him, and Kolosik said none of that. He grabbed him and made sure he went nowhere.
Kolosik and Gabe Grunwald with a great stop in the play. Great containment right there. They kept the running back, Kelton Morrison Coffin, inside. If he got outside, that might have ended up for a first down. But containment is always key on defense, and let's keep the running back inside.
And that's been the story of Alvin offense and Jesuit defense. For Jesuit, it's just containing the outsides. The insides, they're pounding them. Alvin's trying to pound them on the inside. Jesuit's responding, not letting them gain any yardage. The only success that Alvin's had really is on the outside. So if you're Jesuit, contain those edges, that outside, and you're going to be fine.
Looks like Alvin has called their first time out of the half. Keep in mind, it is 3rd and 14 with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Jesuit is up 41-0. They scored their first touchdown of the half when Joel Crawford found an open lane after cutting it through inside for about a 20-yard run, and that brought the score up to 41.
And it's really fascinating how Jesuit, I mean, even going back to the last couple of years with Dylan Campbell, the success that we've had at the running back position, the talent that we've had at it, and even for next year, we still got Joel Crawford,
You have Michael Wiley from 2 years ago.
To think that Joel Crawford was not getting many carries last year, because if we had Alex May and Dylan Campbell in front of him, Joel Crawford, the talent that we're seeing here tonight in this season, it just shows you how, like, it's just that running back position and Strake Jesuit got a great connection.
It's always good to utilize that multi-running back system, and that's what Jesuit has been able to do in the past couple seasons. Talking about 2 years ago, we had Michael Wiley and Dylan Campbell. Wiley's running back is the running back at Arizona right now. Dylan Campbell plays baseball for UT. Now we have Alex May and Joel Crawford this year. Boggle hands off to his running back where he is stuffed.
Again,
Nowhere to gain.
Trying to go on the inside, and it's not working.
They've really run that play a lot tonight.
It's the same thing. The running back on the right side motions over to the left side. That's going to be the potential person that catches the toss. If they don't hand it off to the inside, to the running back that's going into the inside, if they fake that handoff, the quarterback's going to roll out left and pitch it to him. That being said, they went in the inside there, and it was shut down completely by Jesuit.
That makes it 4th and long. The Yellow Jackets will be forced to punt it away. This time it's still Lance Saison, the senior defensive back, who is there to punt.
If I'm Alvin, one of these special teams, I tried something tricky. I know you couldn't really do it there because it's a 4th and long, but you're down 41-0. There's 7 minutes left in the third quarter. I mean, you gotta kind of go. If this, I mean, they should have figured this out a long ago when they were down 21-0. But if the script is not working, you got to get off the script, and that's what halftime is for. And seeing their first possession, it seems like they haven't learned that yet. They're sticking to their game plan.
Now that was Bockel's best punt of the night. That was about 55 yards. Obviously, they've struggled on punting it tonight, but
I saw number 2 Ryan Sentry warming up on the sidelines. I thought it was just to do it, but they have subbed him in.
They
now
have
with a big
subbed in
lead.
Ryan Sentry. This is Ryan's first time playing of this season this year. The senior quarterback definitely has worked very hard. Would love to see some great action out of him. He hands it off to Crawford, who cuts it right up the middle, and will get about 7 yards. Back, still on his feet. Crawford still on his feet. Wow, he has not been brought down yet. Wow.
And that is by far the most physical play we've seen in the night.
The offensive line just kept pushing. We thought that Crawford was down after he broke a couple tackles and gained about 7 yards. And I just began talking about going back to talking about Ryan, but Crawford was still on his feet and they were pushing him. That's another first down on the play.
And it's nice to see senior quarterback Ryan Sentry out there. It's senior night. In a typical game, if it was closer, they'd keep O'Hara in there, their starter. But it's senior night. They're going to go to their second string senior quarterback. Let him play during senior night.
Would love to see Ryan get some great action in right here. Hands it off to Jake Foster. Excuse me, no, that is Jackson Baker. That is Jackson Baker. Baker gains about 5 yards in the play. Makes that about 2nd and 5. Hopefully we can see Sentry utilize the passing game. Maybe a little bit of play action. What do you think, Chris?
For sure. I want to see we've established the run, even with third string Jackson Baker in there, giving Joel Crawford and Alex May a rest. Up 41-0, no need to
save him for next game.
Have a concern for injury. But I want to see Ryan Sentry. I want to see him throw it down the field,
Me
Senior
too.
night. Let's see what he's got.
He's played quarterback all his life. Definitely loves the game. Would love to see him throw a touchdown pass right here.
And the motion, the fullback onto the line.
Sentry keeps it, rolls out to his right, looking. He throws downfield. Oh, and he almost had Holden Maples downfield right there.
He did have
a little bit of a low pass.
Right.
But he had pressure in the backfield.
That pressure is what changed the throw. He couldn't get his front foot into the throw. Made him throw off his back foot, didn't get it there. But he did have him open. Maybe when you do that play action, have that little check down guy available if it's not open, because that guy, the defensive end's going to come get you, to the quarterback. So give him that check down option.
He did a great job of avoiding the sack right there. Hand off to Baker, who cuts up the middle. And Baker will push for a first down and more. Way to push for Jackson Baker.
Good to see him get some playing time, Third
Yeah.
string running back.
He did.
When you get up to this score of like 41-0 in these blowout type games, it's good to get those players that don't really get to play, because first off, it makes them feel like they're involved in the team, right? Rather than sitting on the bench.
And it showcases.
And you get to see what maybe some hidden talent that you didn't know of, and it gets immersed in the game.
Right on right there. That's exactly right. Sentry under center with Scott Grover and Jackson Baker. Excuse me, not Scott Grover. But he hands it off to Baker. Baker jumps over the pile of blockers, gains about 3 yards on the play. Junior receiver Luke Dominy also checks into the game. And Wyatt Muchard, the senior receiver, is also in there. He just checked out.
And Chase Valentine, number 7, senior wide receiver, also getting some playing time tonight for senior night.
Looks like we're putting in a lot of our backups, but it's great. It's just great to see everyone play on a great game that Jesuit is playing tonight. Santry lines up under center. He has Chase Valentine out to his left. Santry drops back to pass, and he has his pass completed by junior receiver Luke Dominy. That is Dominy's first reception of his varsity career, I believe. Great catch by him, and that's enough for a first down. He'll move the chains. That is also Santry's first completion on varsity, I believe.
And it's good to see that, these second and third string players getting in there, getting some playing time, getting some action. Makes you feel like if you're on the bench, sometimes you get, a little, a little like uninterested. But now that they're getting the ball like this, makes them feel more energetic, going into the game and practices.
Baker's still in the backfield with Santry. Chase Gilchrist is also in the game. Hands off to Baker. Baker cuts it out to the left. Stiff arms a little bit. Still on his feet. Pushed out of bounds at around Alvin's own 12-yard line. That's good for another first down. About a 15-yard gain on the play. And the Crusaders are just rolling with their second group in right now.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Baker got the ball there on that handoff. Tried to go in the middle, wasn't there. Cut it back outside. We thought he was going to get stopped. Laid a nasty stiff arm on the defender and got another extra 10, 15 yards out of that.
Overall, just great execution by the entire offense. Santry is checking in, get the play with Coach Kubiak, and he's running back to his huddle right now.
And if you're Jesuit, barring the score, this is how you want to play a football game. Every football game, this is how you want to play it. Pound them with the run, and occasionally hit them with that play action for big games.
Hand off to Baker, and he is met right at the line of scrimmage. That might be, almost a fumble on the play, but I think he was down in time.
It looked like he was down. It looked like his knee and elbow were down.
That's going to make it about 2nd and 10. But we're seeing a lot of action out of Jackson Baker tonight, and he's definitely producing a lot of yardage. Maybe this is hints of another 2 running back system next year with Joel Crawford and Jackson Baker.
I mean, Alex May's not going to be here, and the way that we run the ball, if we only run Joel Crawford, he's going to get tired. So it's important that we find that second guy. And tonight, I think Jackson Baker is showing that he is that second guy.
Streak might continue. Santry hands off to Baker again. Baker up the middle, gains about 5 yards, is met by the linebacker. That is number 54 for Alvin. 54, Kobe Rosto. He is a junior playing for Alvin tonight. He'll have another year under his belt next year.
3rd and 5 here on the 8. I want to see, I think running the ball would be the most effective option, right? Even if you don't get the first down, you get a gain of 3 or 4, maybe with a 4th and short. But I mean, I want to see Ryan Santry try to strike one in the end zone. You see one-on-one coverage for number 15, and on the other side, Dylan Dominy. Wyatt Muchard and Dylan Dominy on opposite sides.
Santry takes a snap, throws a fade to Wyatt Muchard. Incomplete. Wyatt Muchard almost tried to do the best he could to one-hand that catch as the defender was in the way. Good coverage. But another good throw by Ryan Santry. Hopefully we can see something come out of his drive.
I don't know, Robert. I kind of saw a push off there by the defender. It didn't look like he was playing the ball. I might have thrown a flag on that one.
Max Castellanos will line up for his first field goal attempt tonight. This is going to be a 15-yard attempt.
I guarantee you Wyatt Muchard wants that throwback.
Definitely does. Meanwhile, Castellanos' kick is up and good. The Crusaders will go up by 44. Still great to see our backup players get in there and have some action and have some fun. They definitely played well. I give this drive a success.
For sure. And if they were, if we were in a real game, 4th and 5 from the 5, they'd probably go for it. Out of respect, even though the backups probably want to go for that, score 6. Out of respect, we're going to, kick the field goal and keep it a friendly game. But, I mean, they look really good, I mean, playing against a starting varsity team on the other side, and our backups come in, put up 3. After not playing all game, just coming in cold. I mean, you can't ask for more than that.
I'm very happy to have done that.
And I think if you're the defense too, you start filling in some of those backups. Avoid those injuries to your key guys. Craig Roy, you might want to bench him, keep him rested. He's a
Keep him rested up.
big
for that
guy
next-
for special teams.
next week.
You don't want him to get hurt. You know, Jacob Syke, Lance Saison, all these big guys are key parts of our defense.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely want to rest up some players, which the Crusaders have been doing. This next game against Elsick, the Crusaders are favored to win, but it's very crucial to win this game because their playoff hopes are very much alive. The Crusaders are currently 2-4, but obviously by the looks of it tonight, they're going to end up 3-4, and they can come out with that. They're favored to come out with that 4th win next week against Elsick and end the regular season with a 500 record.
And I think the most important thing coming out of this game is keep the same energy and mindset that you finished this game with. You know, this is the style that you want to do. You want to play. Run the football until you can't, which they haven't been able to stop it, but keep running the football. Hit them with that 1 or 2 play action per drive and stonewall defense.
Cody Smith, the senior quarterback, is in the game. He hands it off to his running back. That is number 34, Colt Ernst, the sophomore running back. That, I believe, is his first carry of the night, but he is nowhere to gain on that. Makes that about, he has a couple yards. Makes that about 2nd and 8.
And we do see a couple of backups coming in for Jesuit. 26, Caleb Garcia-Ramo, and 19, Jacob Technic. Both defensive backs coming into play, and I'm sure there are some other bench players being subbed in as well.
Alvin has really been changing quarterbacks tonight. They're working both with Trevor Bockel and Cody Smith. Right now it's a pitch number 80. 80 has a wide open lane. He looks like he might take this one all the way to the house, and looks like they will. Touchdown Alvin. That's their best play of the night. That was Kelton Morrison Coffin, the junior running back, on a pitch. Alvin was finally able to make that option work, and looks like Alvin's on the board now.
And it was a perfectly executed play. You know, doing the option, fake the handoff inside, Jesuit collapses, pitch it out to the outside. They hit the most important block on the defensive back, Caleb Garcia-Ramo, which opens up that space for the running back to score. And after that, it's just a foot race to the end zone. And compared to a running back and a linebacker, running back wins that race 9 out of 10 times.
Great run by Kelton. And number 83, Caleb Reed's extra point is good.
And if you're the Jesuit defense, that's the only play that you've given up tonight. You know, you gave up 8-9 yard gains that haven't affected you, but that is the one big play that you've given up tonight, and maybe the one thing that you want to go back and look at the film at and maybe fix. But other than that, still playing a great game.
Still a great game is correct. Hopefully we can see more out of these backup players coming in. Like we saw last drive, we had Jackson Baker get a ton of carries, and we saw Ryan Santry throw the ball a little bit. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of that on this drive.
And I guarantee you the backups for the offense that are playing right now, although the other team scored, I guarantee you that they're happy that they get back onto the field quickly.
Very happy. Crusaders are waiting for Alvin to set up the kicking tee. Chris, what have you been most impressed with tonight, though, with the Crusaders' play style?
Well, like I said before, in the games that Jesuit loses, they don't run the ball enough or they don't run it effectively. And in order for us to win, that's the key. We've seen tonight that the run game has been almost impossible to stop for Alvin. And so I think that's the key thing that we did tonight, you know? We ran the ball the way we wanted to. We wanted to play the way we wanted to. We weren't playing catch up on these guys like the games that we've lost this year. And we've just controlled the pace of the game. The tempo's been in our favor.
Craig Royal returns it, avoids a couple tackles. He's going to be brought down at about their own 20-yard line. And Ryan Santry back out on the field. He'll take the snap on his senior night. Hopefully we can see him maybe throw a touchdown pass. We've already seen our starter, Connor O'Hara, throw a touchdown pass. We'd love to see everyone get a little bit of love tonight, and that's what we're seeing right now.
We see number 16, Caden Ayers, come on for the first time tonight. Wyatt Mouchard back out there. Looks like Dylan Domini's taking a rest from last possession, giving Caden Ayers some time.
Baker's still out in the backfield too. Santry hands off to Baker again. Baker cuts out to the left, has open lane, makes a man miss. Nice move. And he is brought down at the 50-yard line. Great hit by number 21, Elijah Harris, but better run by Jackson Baker. That was about a 20-yard gain for a first down.
Number 10, Colton Smith for Alvin comes up limping, and that's because that Jackson Baker just took his ankles away from him. I mean, made him think he was going left, flipped back out to the right side, and Colton Smith kept going left. Great run by Jackson Baker.
Wyatt Richard is back in the game. He's still in the game. Andrew takes the snap, looks to pass. Oh, and he just overthrows Wyatt Richard by a little bit. Richard tried to snag that in with one hand to make the best effort out of it.
Yeah, Ryan Sentry there just threw it a little bit too high in behind his receiver. You know, you got to throw it a little in front of him, lead him towards the ball. Did the opposite there. Wyatt Richard was going to the right. The ball came back left, a little high for him, just couldn't get there. And it's just that communication, that chemistry is not really there between these guys. You know, they don't get much playing time. Maybe in practice, but you know, when in the game, it's completely different. It's a different atmosphere.
Gentry hands off to Baker again, where he is met right in the backfield. He has nowhere to go. Loss of a couple yards in the play. That's one of the best defensive plays that Alvin has produced tonight. They met the running back right in the backfield as the ball was handed off.
And I think Jesuit also put in some sub-linemen, which is why we're seeing that those holes that we were having diminish. I mean, the defensive line for Alvin just pushed our offensive line back there like nothing. I mean, Jackson Baker took up maybe a 5-yard loss, a 3-yard loss, you know, with his extra effort. But overall, 3rd and 13, I'm kind of surprised by the way the 2nd and 3rd units are playing tonight.
It looks like that is going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Your Crusaders are up over Alvin by a score of 44-7. And as we take this break, we just want to let you know to mark your calendar. The Strake Jesuit auction is set for Saturday, April 17th, 2021. Our auction is a fun-filled evening with dinner, silent, big board, and live auctions. You can participate in a raffle and register for sign-up parties. Funds raised at the auction provide resources for our future by funding the school's endowment while also supporting the operating budget. The auction truly benefits every student in every way possible. Now we've seen a lot of carries for Jackson Baker tonight. This is the most we've ever seen him get to run in the game, and I'm just, from the looks of it, I'm very impressed with what he can do. A lot of people have said he's very shifty, and I can confirm that.
Yeah, we've seen that tonight, especially in that last run. Something interesting. I wonder if Jesuit ran the offense that Alvin is running, because our running backs are much better. I mean, as we've seen tonight, than Alvin's running backs. What if we on our offense did some sort of option plays? You know, with such dynamic forces in the backfield like that.
Gentry still in the game. Pitches out to his left to Baker. Baker is met right at the line of scrimmage. That might be a 1-yard gain. That'll bring up one of the Crusaders' very first 4th downs of the night. Maybe their first 4th down.
It is the first punt coming up for the Crusaders
First
all
punt.
night long.
That is crazy. Not their first 4th down because they kicked a field goal.
That's right. But number 96, Liam Garcia, getting his first action in the game. He is a very good punter. He has one punt, I believe, last game inside the 20. Has a big boot on him. Haven't said his name much tonight, which is a good thing.
It's a good thing, yeah. He's a very, very talented punter. Crazy to think that this is their first time punting tonight. They've been playing very well.
It shows you that that's a great punt there.
This will be returned by...
Oh, bad dodge.
This will be down at Alvin's own 29-yard line. Pretty good punt, pretty high punt by Liam Garcia. And we'll see what Alvin can do as they take over after they scored their very first touchdown on the last drive.
Yeah, if you're the Jesuit defense now, I mean, 44-7, it doesn't really matter what you do here. It's just all about, you know, morale booster. You want to finish the game on a high note so you can keep that atmosphere going into the locker room, that excitement, and can carry it over to next week and have a good week of practice. Got to contain the edges here.
Pitch to number 42, that is Jordan Torres, and he does a little push at the end, but he gains about 2 or 3 yards in the play. That's going to make it, more than that. Hard to see from this angle, but gain of about 8 or 9 on the play. That is 2nd and 2.
And good play there by junior number 82, Reed Ramirez, defensive back, was getting blocked there, had to make a big stop there, and he does. And afterwards, came up, started flexing on the Alvin running back, showing off a little excitement in this game.
2nd and 2. Bockel is back under center. Alvin's really switched between their quarterbacks tonight. Another handoff again. He fakes the handoff. Bockel will keep it himself, and he will run, and he will get the first down. And more. He's brought down at around the 46-yard line of the Crusaders. There is a flag on the play. I believe this is late. There was a little bit of contact right after the whistle blew.
It seems like it.
Chris, what do you think?
I think it is, because if there was any type of holding at the beginning, they would have pointed out earlier. It did see like maybe a
face mask?
Could be. Maybe the runner was out of bounds and an extra hit. Could be. Unnecessary roughness of some sort. But this game really for Jesuit on the defensive side has been, can we contain the edges, you know, in that outside space, because they're doing just fine plugging in the inside. I mean, Alvin's had zero success going in the inside, and that outside, they've had minimal success leading up to that very long touchdown run. And it is going to be a flag on Jesuit of some sort.
No, it's a flag on Alvin there. Oh no, it is a flag on Jesuit.
Yeah, they're moving up.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I mean, tonight's game really for Jesuit, the defensive backs have had nothing to do. The biggest job really is when that running back breaks the first level, can they stop him in the second level, which they've done most of the night except for that one big long touchdown.
It looks like that option play did not work again, as Trevor Bockel, the quarterback, is met in the backfield for a loss as he tried to hand it off. That makes it about 2nd and 12 with 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. 44-7. Crusaders are up. Just another update.
And if you saw there on that last play, Alvin had the left side open. There was a couple of nice blocks over there. Just the quarterback didn't have enough time to go through progression to take that option to the left side.
Hand off to Colt Ernst, the sophomore. No, excuse me, he keeps it.
He even fooled me on that one. I thought he handed it off to the sophomore as well.
I will say this. Even though Alvin's use of the option formation has not worked out the best tonight, I feel like they're actually very good at faking.
They are. I mean, they fooled me a couple times. Number 92 for Joey Garcia. Came in on the running back, thought he got a big play, and so did I. And then I saw that the play wasn't over yet. Good thing for Jesuit that they're reading and reacting to that fake and stopping the ball.
Bockel will keep it excuse me, that's not Bockel. That number 14 will keep it 34 will keep it himself, and he brings it all the way down to the 10-yard line. That is number 34, Cole Ernst, the sophomore running back. He is starting to get a lot more snaps now in the backfield. Maybe they're just trying to work him. He's a sophomore. Get him prepared for future seasons, as Alvin is clearly not in any running for the playoffs. Just get him prepared for the next upcoming season.
Right. If you're Alvin now, the season still matters to you, right? Because you're going to have players coming back next year, and you want to develop them this year and get this extra playing time that they can get in order for next year to be ready. Because unfortunately, their season is pretty much done.
Hand off to the sophomore Cole Ernst again. He's trying to utilize him more. He gets about 4 yards in the play. Forward progress will stop him.
And the way that Alvin plays, I'm surprised they don't have some type of package, like a wildcat package, because they use their running back so much. And I mean, I guess you could say that it already is a wildcat package, right? Because the quarterback doesn't throw. It's essentially, when they go into that 3 backfield set, they essentially have 4 running backs in the backfield, you know, because the quarterback is considered one of them. Because if he fakes the handoff, he's going to run in the inside.
Cole handed off back to the sophomore Cole Ernst again, brought down at the 1-yard line. Looks like Alvin is close to scoring their second touchdown of the night. Looks like they finally found a rhythm. They've really tried to utilize that option. It looks like it's coming out in a positive manner now.
I think this is the last couple of plays, the first time that inside handoff on that option, the inside handoff, that it's finally worked. Because prior to that, that's been stuffed, but it worked there. And I'm assuming they're going to go here with, sneak in the end zone.
QB sneak from Trevor Bockel, I believe. That is good for another Alvin touchdown. That makes the score 44-13 with the ensuing extra point coming. But yeah, just a QB sneak. Was that I believe that was Trevor Bockel on the QB sneak again.
I think so, and I think that's the right choice to make because it's less than 1 yard, and when you get that QB sneak, essentially the ball can get into the end zone quicker, right? If you want to try, and they're going for, at this point they should go for 2, right?
Right.
Just to show that they're,
Caleb Reed's extra point is good. That'll make the score 44-14. We have 7 minutes and 10 seconds left in the game. Your Crusaders are up by 30. This is one of their largest winning deficit in
this season.
Maybe this entire season.
For sure. I mean, they had a good game last week, winning, I believe, 35-17 over A-Leaf Taylor, and even now matching that with the 44-14. And if you think about it, if they did keep those offensive starters out, this could have been a much higher scoring game, 54 or something. Because, I mean, with their starters in, they didn't kick a field goal, they didn't punt, they scored, I believe, 6 straight touchdowns. 3 for Alex May, 2 for Joel Crawford, and 1 passing touchdown from O'Hara to Will Taylor.
Now, I believe the last time that Jesuits football team was up by this much, was last year in the playoffs against, kind of a new rivalry that has formed, Beaumont and Westbrook. Jesuit beat Westbrook in that game by a score of 63-35. 28 points. But what's funny about that is that in the second game of the regular season that year, onside kick by Alvin. It'll be recovered by the Crusaders. That is number 53. Number 53 recovers it for the Crusaders. That is Mark Arsham, also the kicker. So doing a little bit of both on kickoff and kickoff return. As I was saying, what's funny is that the Crusaders beat Westbrook by a score of 63-35 in the playoffs, but in the second game of the regular season, they lost to them by 40. What's funny about that is the exact opposite happened in 2018. The Crusaders beat Westbrook in the regular season, but lost them in the playoffs.
Interesting, very interesting. I don't think we're going to be having that scenario here, Robert. Alvin is not going to make the playoffs this year.
They are not.
But
Hand off to
it's
Jackson
something,
Baker.
Well, I believe the score of Jesuit was Pearland was 17-7, correct? A couple weeks ago?
17-7.
I mean, we could be playing Pearland in the playoffs, I believe, right?
It's going to be the first round, assuming that Jesuit wins out, which they are favored to do. They have A-Leaf Elsick coming up, and Jesuit has dominated Elsick in the past couple of years. They'll be matched up with someone from District 24-6A. That will most likely be facing off a team that's either Clearbrook, Clear Falls, or Clear Creek.
So explain to me and the viewers, Robert, if Jesuit wins out this year, are they in the playoffs, or do they need some other things to happen as well, like some teams?
They are in the playoffs, and I can hand off to Baker, runs up the middle, and he'll gain about 4 or 5 yards in the play. That's going to make it about 3rd and 4. A-Leaf Hastings, who Jesuit beat in the head-to-head matchup, has played 1 less game than them. But Hastings plays Shadow Creek, one of the top teams in the district.
We saw that a couple weeks ago.
But since Jesuit, if they win out, they've also beaten Hastings in the head-to-head matchup. So Jesuit will get the 4th spot in the playoffs.
And around how many games does Jesuit have left this year?
Including after this one, they'll have one more game.
So if we win the next game, essentially, if Hastings loses against Shadow Creek, we're in the playoff.
Essentially. And even if Hastings were to win, I think he'd still be in it.
That's good then. So, I mean, the next game's important then. It's important that Jesuit take what they did this game and implement it the way that they did it tonight next week as well. I mean, if they can run the ball they did tonight next week, I don't think, and the way that the defense is playing, and you give them the rest that they get, when you run the ball that much, you control the game, I think that's the recipe for Jesuit for the rest of the year. I think that's how they win,
Baker runs for about 2 more yards on that play. That brings up 4th and 4 for the Crusaders. They will decide to punt out of sportsmanship. That's the right idea as you're up by 30 points. But as you were saying, Chris,
I mean, we didn't see much of O'Hara today. We did see he did overthrow 1 touchdown pass, possible touchdown, but he was being pressured. He did have that 1 good strike to Will Taylor in the end zone.
He did. It was a great strike.
But this is a team game, And there's a punt by Liam Garcia once again, second punt of the night. This is Alex Dragoni coming in for the first time tonight with the punt.
He'll get his shine on senior night.
There it is, of course. But as I was saying, it's important that they take away what they did tonight. That's the recipe for success, and it's a team sport. It's not about the stats for this individual person. And yes, O'Hara might have won. Get a couple more throws in there, get a couple more yards, but he understands that in order to win, you got to do whatever's best for the team. And tonight it was the run game.
Right on. Trevor Bockel's still under center. He's brought down at about, for a 2-yard gain at about the 25-yard line. 4.5 minutes left to go. Looks like the Crusaders are going to run away with this one.
Yeah, and talking again about the defense, we can't really say much about the secondary tonight because we saw no action from them at all because they were locking their receivers down a couple times that they threw the ball. If you're Jesuit on the run side of the ball, the run defense side of the ball, I'd say the only thing you can come out is make sure you contain those edges because you're going to have teams that do those options again. And it could be teams that are more effective at it. And by the way that it's gone tonight, they've done very well at stopping that option on the outside. They did an amazing job of gutting the inside. But if they can focus on containing those edges, they'd be really good for the future.
Hand off to Alvin's running back. That is good for as he pushes for a first down. Alvin will have a new set of 10 yards to go, new set of downs as the chains will move. 3.5 minutes left in the game. Looks like the clock is just running out on this one. No need for Alvin to really call any timeouts to stay in it as it's just too much of a deficit. Bockel almost sacked in the backfield, hands it off to his running back right in time, but the running back has nowhere to go. He even loses more yards. That is number 42, Jordan Torres again. Torres has been the leading running back this year. He's not much, collectively Alvin has not gained many yards on the ground. They've only played 5 games before this, and they're 0-5. But he's been the leading running back. He's the senior. Definitely has done a lot of, probably over at Alvin High School, definitely has done a lot of stuff to prepare the junior and the sophomore running backs in the backfield for the season.
Right, and that last play by the fumble
on the play on the handoff looks like Jesuit has it. Jesuit's saying they have it. It was 2nd and 10. Bockel tried to pitch it, and they fumbled the pitch. The Crusaders jumped right on it, and they're going to have a more great field position for our backups. The Crusaders will take over at Alvin's own 30-yard line with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game.
And although the game is over, right, 24-14, the past couple of games, Jesuit has lost the turnover battle, and that's a really important thing they need to fix. And tonight, I believe they've had tonight it's even, right? We had the Will Taylor fumble, and we just recovered a fumble in here. But in those close games where you play those better opponents, minimizing those turnovers is super important because you only get so many possessions a game, and you need to make sure you use every possession wisely.
And off to Jackson Baker again. Excuse me, that is number 85. A little bit of handoff to the receiver right there. That was number 85 for Jesuit.
Raymond Carroll, I believe, the fullback.
Raymond Carroll, the fullback.
The backup fullback to Jake Foster getting some playing time tonight.
Gained about 5 yards in the play, 2nd and 4. Brian Santry runs back to this huddle. Maybe we can see him throw a touchdown pass on his senior night.
I want to see Coach Kubiak put the ball in Ryan Santry's hands. There's not going to be many opportunities for him to play, and this is probably the best night to do it. Yeah, you're running the ball effectively, and you want to. Essentially, what he's doing, he's running the clock out, right? He wants the game to end and just go to the locker room and get his team hyped for the coming week and tell them how good they did. But I mean, the game's 44-14. I'd say give your quarterback a couple other throws. Give a couple more chances. But essentially, what they're doing, they're just running the clock right now.
As we said, Jesuit will play Alief Elsick next week on Friday at Trump Stadium. This is a crucial game for them to win. They are definitely favored to win, but you can never take any game lightly.
And this game is a perfect representation of that. Alvin coming in 0-5 on the year, 0-3 in district, but Jesuit didn't care. They came out smoking. The running game, they ran all over them, and they just didn't take the foot off the pedal.
A little QB sneak action for Ryan Santry. He gains about 3 yards in the play. That's good for another first down.
It's such a recurring story that we see in sports nowadays, where there's a favorite supposedly supposed to win, and then the underdog comes in and beats them. Because the favorite, they don't come in with that mentality, that mindset that they want to beat the other team. Like the underdogs. They're like, we're underdogs. Let's show them what we got. Jesuit made sure that didn't happen tonight, and they need to make sure that they do that exactly next week as well.
It looks like the Crusaders might just run this clock out. There's 36 seconds ticking down to 00.
All right, looks like they're just gonna take a knee.
No, they might just take a knee. But I like this though. Let Ryan Santry take the knee tonight. He's definitely worked a lot. Connor O'Hara has worked a lot. Ryan Santry has worked a lot. Let the seniors finish out the game.
And that's exactly what they did. And it's going to be a 44-14 win for Jesuit over the Alvin
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets. Great game overall.
A great performance for the Crusaders. They will take on the Rams of Ailey Elsick next week. But we thank you for tuning in. The score: Straight Jesuit 44, Alvin 14. As for on my end, I'm Robert Gonsolin here with my partner
Crusader.
We thank you for tuning in. Go Crusaders!
Well, what a great game for the Crusaders. Just a dominant win there. Alvin got some touchdowns late in the game, but overall just like I said, a very dominant game. So let's talk about the other games in the district. Looks like there's a little bit of an upset. Shadow Creek beat Dawson. Of course, both those teams have played Strake Jesuit, but going into the playoffs, that's a huge game.
Yeah, for sure. And a big upset, as you said. We also saw the result from that Elsick game. They got blown out of the water, 56-0.
Yeah, another game in District 23, 65-0. Pearland Dawson looking very dominant. They're now the only two undefeated teams in the district are Pearland Dawson and Shadow Creek. Just a few weeks left. Strake Jesuit has one more game next week against Ailey Elsick. Took a pretty tough loss there, but Strake Jesuit's looking for their third straight win. If they win next week, they are guaranteed, I believe they are guaranteed to go in the playoffs. So if you could pick anything, what would that be going into the playoffs just for the whole team to focus on?
Well, obviously we got to focus on the offense. Sure, it's been lights out these last couple of games, but these have been relatively weaker opponents. When you face up against someone like Shadow Creek, someone that actually has a very formidable defense, the offense has to step up. So far, we've seen it. We've seen a lot of improvements. This team has improved a lot since the first game. The run game has been going. The pass game has been going. The defense has also been very good in the run game. So we've seen this team improve, but they have to be even better if they want to have a shot at beating one of these top dog teams.
Yeah, they're going to have to rank up against a pretty high team in District 24 in that first round if they do win next week. So it's going to be a Cinderella story if they're able to win one game, much less, quite a few, and make their way up to AT&T Stadium in Dallas.
Right, and I trust this Jesuit team, and we saw it last year too. There's rough starts, but slowly but surely this team starts to find their identity, find their rhythm, and really begin to establish themselves. So hopefully this season can kind of be a repeat and we can go for another Cinderella run. Obviously it ended shortly there in NRG Stadium, but it was a good run nonetheless.
Right, and just on a lighter note before we leave, tonight was senior night. We got to see Ryan Santry, Chase Valentine, just a few guys that didn't get a lot of playing time on the varsity squad come in tonight, so you always love to see that.
Absolutely, you love to see them go in and senior night. This is their last home game, before they move on to greater things over in college. So it was great to see them play, and you saw some great plays out of some of those guys, and it was really great to see.
Yeah, well, not only does that wrap up our coverage tonight, but that was the last home game here for Strake Jesuit, but it does not end with football. We will be on for all sports for the rest of the year. Basketball is coming up very soon. We are looking forward to seeing you in the next few weeks as basketball starts and for the rest of the year. For Diego Sanchez, For the commentators back at Clay Stadium, for our producers, I'm Will Turboff. Thank you for watching Crusader Sports Network.